Hey, it's Ben here, your virtual CTO, and today we're going to look at how to make your company an open source contributor. It's pretty easy. I have a little demo of something I made in Bootstrap. I use CodePen a lot right now. Anytime I'm doing front-end design work, and front-end would be the user interface, the stuff that happens in the web browser, CodePen's a really great resource for that. So what I've created is a pure JavaScript solution to do something kind of special, and that is when you hit this button, you get a full screen dialog, and the dialog box resizes as the screen resizes. So that's pretty handy, but it doesn't come built into Bootstrap, which is one of the most famous and most popular user interface frameworks. Anytime you want to develop a web-based user interface for mobile or desktop or both, you use something like Bootstrap to help you create a user interface that responsively resizes itself for the device size. But it doesn't come with a full screen modal dialog. Instead, what it does come with is, I'll show you just what it comes with by default here. It comes with this by default, and if you have super long content, you have to scroll through the page and stuff like that, and if you have super wide content, so this dialog is okay for small messages, but it's not great if you're trying to put a lot into it. So I created a little snippet of JavaScript that makes it a full screen dialog that has a scrollable body to it. So that's pretty nice, and now I want to share this with people. So one way I can share it with people is I just have it here on CodePen, and I've already said full screen Bootstrap modal dialog. Okay, I've put a little description in here, so anybody searching for Bootstrap full screen modal dialog might come across this link. These are available in Google, and in fact the first thing I did is I went and looked on CodePen for full screen samples. Okay, and let's just click on one of these just to see what else is there that people are doing. I found one that was kind of similar to what I wanted to do, but not quite what I wanted to do. So this looks pretty good, except do you see how at the bottom the footer is missing, and it's using some extra styling. This is not a criticism as much as it is just an observation that what they're doing doesn't quite suit my needs. First of all, they have a lot of CSS here, and they have no JavaScript, and that tells me that their modal dialog will not resize if I change the screen size, for example, like this. It doesn't resize, and it appears to have very long text, but it doesn't address the footer. So every one of them that I looked at had some shortcomings like that, but I did eventually find one that was a good place to start. And so now I have a snippet of JavaScript code here. It looks great. It's pretty compact. There's not a whole lot to it, but I want to share it with the world. So here's what I did. I took this off of CodePen and I created what's called a node package. And here's what a node package looks like. Here's my source code right here. This is the same stuff. I just copied it out of CodePen. The reason I'm showing you this is a great way for your company to become an open source player. And one of the easiest ways to become an open source player is to choose a developer who's already an open source player. Then a byproduct of working with that developer is that you, by proxy, contribute to the open source community. And for example, when I'm working on projects and I find some opportunity for me to open source a piece of software, if I've made it in conjunction with a project, I've got no problem putting your company name on it and saying, made possible by. So it's easy to become an open source contributor if you know the right things to look for in your developer and if you know the right questions to ask. It doesn't take any effort or understanding on your part, but let me just show you what it's like. So here's the nugget of gold, right? this piece of JavaScript is the nugget of gold. Everything else is written by somebody else. So here it is in our package, and this is what's called an open source package. In this case, it's a Node package. Node is a programming platform, and you may have heard of it, but it's really modern, really great. It's a JavaScript-based platform, but they have a great package management system that allows you to install packages and say what the packages depend on, so that you can include dependencies with your packages. And it's a big discussion for another time. But anyway, here's the nugget of gold. Everything else is wrapping around it. Okay, so the first thing that I need is I need a package description file. This says what the package is named, what version it is, and a description of it, where the package starts, in this case this file, where the master copy of this package resides, some other keywords going on in here, who made it, what license it has, where to report bugs, like all this stuff. And then look down here, dev dependencies. If you want to develop or change this package, you will need all of these tools. If you want to use the package, you don't need them, but if you want to develop it, you need them. So then I have a build system that basically takes this magic right here, this nugget of gold, and builds it into a normal JavaScript file that people can include in their projects, and a compact version of that file. So this is a very common practice. It's called a minified version, and you know, a regular, a non-minified version. So this is the code, this is the package. Then there's a command line tool called npm, and you just type npm publish, and in this case it's going to give me an error because I already published it, but that makes it appear online right here at npmjs.com. Now, if anybody was looking for a JavaScript package that did this, they'd probably find it on Google. They'd probably find their way here. They'd probably read this, and they'd see how to install it. And look right here. You know, it says right here how to install it. So this is the package, and it's now available. It's out there in the world. And watch, if I refresh, it just refreshed to 1.02 because I've actually made a couple revisions to it. And look, the README has changed. Even since I made it this morning, I've made a couple revisions to it. So it's got some instructions on, you know, how to use it and things like that. And it's out here. It's out here in the world now. So I've officially published this package. It's open source. Now let's take a look at the GitHub repository. We'll go to GitHub. We'll go to Ben Alfrey, and here's the Bootstrap full screen modal. This is another place somebody might be able to find it. It's the very same information. This is the place where this package lives. And anytime a developer sees a package.json, they know they're in good shape. So, so the last step I took is I decided that I also wanted to make it available on, well, first I tried cdnjs.com because I get a lot of my JavaScript from there, but they have kind of an interesting requirement in order to be listed in here. This is where you can type in, and you know, a bunch of front-end JavaScript package names. A lot of developers go here, but they have an interesting guideline for contributing. If you go here to contributing, it says something very interesting. Down here, let me see if I can find it. Aha, here it is in a slightly different in the README file. It says, libraries must have notable popularity. 100 stars/watchers on GitHub. Well, let's look over here. How many stars does full screen Bootstrap modal have? It has 0. I mean, I'll give it a star. Now it has 1 star, but that's a far cry from 100 stars. Or more than 500 times download per month on NPM stats. And look over here, NPM stats. The stats, 0 downloads in the last day. So we're we're a little behind the curve as far as popularity goes for CDN.js to host us. However, the other one that I like to use, JS Deliver, a free super fast CDN for developers and webmasters. CDN stands for Content Delivery Network, so any kind of static assets, static meaning unchanging. This JavaScript file qualifies as something that doesn't change every time you load it. You go here to add a project, and they've got some nice instructions on how to do it, and in fact I did exactly that right here. In the JS Deliver, I created a pull request for them, and the pull request is quite simple. It says what the package is and where to find it, and I'm waiting for that pull request to be accepted. It's still open as of right now. It could be days, could be weeks, it could be hours, could be minutes. I don't know how long it will take them, but once they do have it, we'll be able to, just how we can go on to NPM here and say full screen Bootstrap and find my entry here, right? It's going to load the same page. I'll be able to go to JS Deliver, and I'll be able to type in full screen Bootstrap. Right now, all it comes up is Bootstrap Image Gallery, but I guarantee you, once they accept mine, it will be in here, and that makes it really easy for developers to use. One thing I'm thinking about in the README, just as a forward-looking kind of statement here, I'm going to take a JS Deliver URL. I'm going to put it in here. So this is what this is what it would look like, right? Once they accept it, it'll look like that. And I'm going to make a few more revisions to the README while I'm at it. I don't think we need an installation section. We just need this quick start that says see the CodePen demo. Developers look for this stuff right at the top of the file, so I'm gonna put it up there. I'm gonna bump the package version to 1.03. Now watch this. So I've changed some files. I'll say I'm going to add the files to my repository. I'm going to make a commit and say README updates, and then I'm going to push that package out to GitHub, so that my changes are now not just on my laptop, but they're out there. And then I'm going to say npm publish, and it's going to publish version 1.03. And now if we go back here and we refresh, you'll see a slightly different version of the README. And there it is. Here's our quick start. Oh, it's still at 1.02. There, it just refreshed, 1.03 now. So there it is, quick start. This is the kind of thing that developers look for. And then here we've got some samples of exactly how to include this. So this is a pretty handy, pretty complete little open source contribution. Now that I've done that, I can continue developing this library, and every time I make new changes to it, I can push those changes out. Others can contribute if they want to. They can submit pull requests to me. I can take under consideration their suggestions. So this is how open source collaboration and development works. And the easiest way to get your company involved, again, is to hire somebody who does stuff like this. I have 235 repositories that I've created. They're not all mine, but a lot of them are. So it can be kind of fun to explore around GitHub and just, see what's going on. I mean, we've got somewhere on GitHub here. I don't know exactly where it is because I don't spend too much time looking at it, but there's some way to, see all the popular projects that are going on and things like that. So I'll stop the demo here. I just wanted to give you a taste of what open source collaboration and development and publishing looks like.